66 million years ago, a giant meteor killed all of the dinosaurs, and now there's a giant meteor headed straight for the iPads. And it was dropped by Tim Cook himself. The Apple event that just happened a day or so ago was a make or break moment for the iPad. And I don't think they made it. We got new, slightly redesigned iPad Pro models with updated chips, OLED displays, 2 to be exact, sort of stacked on top of each other because bright, I guess. Even options for a new nano texture on the display itself, giving it a matte finish. We got a new iPad Air with a new chip and a new size. We'll talk about that. Updated Magic keyboards for everybody, and even a new Apple Pencil Pro full of new fancy tech. So, what's the problem? iPad has been in a weird spot, and it's been there for a long time. And though Apple's top dogs seem to think they won the day with that Let Loose event, I think they just piled more onto the problem, actively making it worse. You've got your simple entry-level models that get you a baseline iPad experience, which is always great. You've got Pro models to cover everyone from spec lovers to legit professionals who use this stuff for work. And you've got that iPad Air for everyone in the middle, I guess. Again, we'll talk about that. All in all, they pack some incredible hardware into these devices. It is insane that we're getting legit M-series chip inside of iPads. M4 in iPad Pro and M2 in the Air. But you know what? No matter which one you get, no matter which chip, they all still run iPad OS. This event was supposed to be very big for iPad. Tim Cook started the show by literally saying it's the biggest
day for iPad since its introduction.
Turns out, lie. Not true. Very not true. He lied to our faces. Sure, new hardware is always cool to see. Apple has been delivering on that front time after time recently, but I don't think hardware has ever been the limiting factor for the iPad line. In fact, you know what? Hardware has never been a limiting factor for Apple products. For years, we were used to their phones and computers having much lower specs than the competition. It was software that made the Mac. It was software that made the iPod. It was software that made the iPhone. The hardware is not holding the iPad back. The software is. Putting a brand new chip, the M4, in the iPad Pro is super awesome, great, real fast like, but also, when you're looking at these specs, specifically near this price point, you are so dangerously close to MacBook Pro territory that if you're gonna spend this money, well, you might as well get macOS out of the deal as well. Don't get me wrong, iPad can absolutely do a lot of great, amazing stuff. Obviously, for artists, creatives, professionals that need to do casual work, and Sam Cole. But a faster iPad is still just an iPad. It would be like putting a V8 engine inside of a car that either way is capped at 55 miles per hour. Listen, I have an idea. I have an idea to save the iPad lineup, changes that need to be made. So do me a favor, stick through this sponsor, and we'll get right to it. Phones are getting so good, nearly perfect. But you know what hasn't gotten better with age? The wireless networks you use them on. That's why we partnered with Helium Mobile, a company finally trying to do something innovative in a space that hasn't had to innovate in years. Quick, whatever you're paying for your monthly bill, I'm guessing it's not $20. That's right, for just $20 a month, you get access to Helium Mobile's unlimited plan. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for $20 a month. And their approach is fascinating. It combines dynamic coverage from the nation's largest 5G network with coverage from Helium's very own community of users. With a focus on absolute privacy, Helium delivers coverage by the people, for the people. I made the switch in just minutes, super easy. I'm proud to be part of Helium's vision, proud to have them as a sponsor, and proud to offer you your first month free by going to hellohelium.com/frontpagetech or by clicking the link in the description below. The new iPad Pro was touted as the thinnest Apple product ever. No, really. And you know what? Maybe it is. In fact, some would say it's even thinner and airier than the iPad Air itself. And that represents one of the biggest, most glaring issues that I have with this lineup. Too many tablets doing the same thing, being an iPad, and all running the same OS, no matter which one you buy. When the original iPad launched, it was as thick as me on a Saturday. Enter iPad Air, the thinner, lighter counterpart. The problem? It's not 2013 anymore. And now, the iPad Air is just stuck somewhere in between actual, real value propositions. JDs and Lenelman, listen to me. The time has come. It is time. It's time to get rid of the iPad Air. I'm proposing the following lineup. iPad mini, because it's perfect in every way and anyone that says otherwise will be forcibly removed. Then iPad. Just iPad, even if offered in 2 sizes. Then, for people who need even more, the iPad Pro. Boom. Hardware lineup fixed. Modify the prices accordingly if you need to, but either way, the iPad Air has got to go. I know this might be hard to hear, but we're gonna have to sacrifice the Air to save the iPad. And don't even get me started on Apple Pencil. There's Apple Pencil Gen 1, then Gen 2, then a weird USB-C version that is worse than the other ones, then the new Apple Pencil Pro that just got announced, but the Apple Pencil Pro also happens to be the same price as the Gen 2 Apple Pencil, and just make it make sense. iPad OS. We've got 2 options here, gang. The first option is to just take the lazy route and put a touch-friendly version of macOS on iPad, because the lazy Magic Keyboard-friendly version of iPad OS ain't cutting it. This is the lazy option because it's better than what we have now, but also not ideal. Because unfortunately, the ideal option is to completely rebuild iPad OS from the ground up. Give us the standard iPad OS on iPad mini, it's great there, and iPad. But give us something new and worth our money on iPad Pro. Just give it to us. Give us a pro-level iPad OS not nearly as locked down and bottlenecked. I get it. I understand that Apple may be afraid that doing something like this would potentially cannibalize their own MacBook sales. But listen, Tim, buddy, this is your bed. You made it this way. And it is on you and the team to make this make sense. Fix this. It's not on me, and it's certainly not on the users. See how the iPhone lineup makes sense? There's no weird middle ground there. Why can't we do that for the iPad? There's no weird iPhone Air option in there. Regardless of what others may say, the iPad Pro is definitely a computer. Hell, even the phone in your pocket is more of a computer than half of the machines that were sold just a few years ago. The iPad can certainly be a computer replacement for most people, especially casual users. But it's not a good one. And it will never be. Not until you can find a way to meet the hardware halfway, at least, with software. Apple, let us be the guinea pigs. Look down in the comment section below and look at everyone's ideas on how to make iPad OS worth it. All of this makes me realize that one thing is true more than ever, and that is the iPad mini is the last iPad standing, the last true iPad, designed to be used in the way that Steve Jobs intended. It's the only iPad being an iPad. The only one not trying to be something it's not. Man, I hope next month at WWDC they follow up this insane hardware with software that can fill its own britches. Because, well, if not...